We all have our secrets. We just didn't get to yours yet. The world is arming faster than we can respond. Where's 007? I need a favor, brother. You're the only one I trust for this.
The world's moved on, Commander Bond.
You were 00.
2 years. So stay in your lane. You get in my way, I will put a bullet in your knee. The one that works.
I thought you two would get along.
Name? Bond. James Bond.
So you're not dead?
Hello, Q. I've missed you.
It's the most valuable asset this country has. If you feel yourself losing control, I'm not going to lose
control. James,
You gave up everything for her. When her secret finds its way out, there'll be the death of him.
what is it?
You don't know what this is?
James Bond. License to kill. History of violence. I could be speaking to my own reflection. Only your skills die with your body. Mine will survive long after I'm gone. History isn't kind to men who play God.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very special reflection, where we talk about the first official trailer for No Time to Die. Woo! The 25th James Bond movie, and the fifth and final film to star Daniel Craig as 007. So, I'm joined by my friend Jack. So, Jack, what do we think of this first trailer?
Fucking shit! Only joking. It looks great. I'm really excited for this film. We've been waiting for this trailer for, God, I mean, 4 years now. We've been waiting for a trailer for this film, and
Yeah,
I
well,
couldn't be
it's
more.
fair to say it's been worth it.
Sorry?
I mean, I think it's fair to say it's been worth the wait.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, great trailer. There's a lot to discuss about it, but I mean, overall first impressions are I think it's going to be a great film. The trailer gets me really hyped up, and there's a lot in it as well, which is great. It's not like 30 seconds and that's it. I mean, even if it was 30 seconds, I would still be happy if there was something in it. But it's quite a long trailer. It's quite a long trailer. There's a lot in it, and it's awesome. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it comes across actually more as a theatrical trailer than a teaser. But still, what will the theatrical trailer show us? But I mean, I think it's nice that Cary Fukunaga and the filmmakers, after such a long time, they know that we've been waiting for this film for a while, so they wanted to deliver. And what is interesting is that they've revealed a lot, but they've also revealed nothing, if that makes sense. They've given us a basic premise, something to talk about, like a sort of a kind of the hint of a revelation, but they've not actually told us the story and the sort of the ins and outs of the plot. But the potential revelation that Madeline has potentially betrayed Bond is something very intriguing. And they're the first lines of the trailer, so immediately I was hooked. and wow, I did not see that coming, and I think it makes me want to see this film even more. But I think just generally the trailer is fantastic. It's we get to see a bit of the action sequences, we get to see a lot of the characters as well. Especially we get our first look at Rami Malek as Safin. But I think going through the trailer in order, what do you think of that sort of thing with Madeline, where she says, "Oh, why would I betray you?" And he goes, "Well, we all have our secrets. We just haven't got to yours yet." I think that's really cool. What do you think about that?
No, I think it's very interesting, and it's interesting that Bond thinks that Madeline has betrayed him. I mean, I think maybe that she hasn't, but maybe somebody has set it up so it looks like that Madeline has set him up. Which is, I mean, it's an interesting idea to the film because, last time we saw them, they were driving off in the Aston Martin at the end of Spectre, and in this film they're getting married apparently. So I wonder if they get married at the start of the film, and then maybe Bond gets betrayed, and he maybe I'm thinking maybe they get married, and then maybe after that someone tries to kill him, and then maybe he thinks that's Madeline because of what she said or what she's done or something like that. I mean, we don't know yet, but it's interesting. I mean, it really adds a, sort of interesting idea to the film because the film, it's interesting to see that Bond's wife would betray him, basically, and add sort of tension to Craig's last Bond outing. And just judging from some of the action in the trailer as well, like the scene where Craig jumps off the bridge, the scene of the Aston Martin at the end where he's shooting the guns in the Aston Martin, that was pretty badass as well. So the action looks really good as well. Yeah.
And I think also because not everybody was a fan of Spectre. I mean, obviously we were, but people weren't. So I think they've concentrated a lot on making this an action-packed finale, should we say, because it is a finale, and it is going to continue obviously after Spectre, and it wraps up all those storylines that have been running through the Daniel Craig era. But yeah, that opening sequence is going to be interesting because they are going to be married, as you say. So I wonder what's happened. Obviously, we won't know till the film comes out, but obviously something will happen potentially that frames Madeline and makes Bond think that Madeline's betrayed her. I mean, even Blofeld, because we see Blofeld in the trailer, he said, "Oh, you gave up everything for her, and when her secret's out, it's gonna be the death of you," which is interesting because obviously the film is called No Time to Die. So clearly, she has some connection to the villain, Safin, because there's a moment when she looks at the mask which he wears, and obviously if Blofeld knows about it, then I'm assuming that both these characters are involved in Spectre, the organization. So yeah, I mean, obviously Safin has to be a Spectre agent as far as I'm concerned. But wow, it is intriguing. And then we get to see a bit of the MI6 regulars, like we see a bit of M, which is really cool. And he says, "Oh, the world is moving faster than we can respond. We need Bond. We need to bring him back." So I like that, and it's nice that they have actually given Craig's Bond the retirement angle, although in a kind of different way to Skyfall. Skyfall, it was more the situation, like he'd been shot and he chose to hide away, but he knew he had to come back because of the situation. So in a similar way, I suppose he has to come back, but although I guess maybe because of Madeline's betrayal, well, what he thinks is her betrayal, he's just chosen to hide in Jamaica and just forget about her. And I guess that's the kind of the ironic thing, because he was betrayed by Vesper as well in his first film. So to me, this is a nice idea because it comes around full circle. Obviously, we don't know the extent of Bond and Madeline's relationship in this film and the tension between them, but it definitely sets something up very nicely. I mean, and just the shots of Jamaica look fabulous. I mean, I don't know who the cinematographer is for this film, but they've done a great job. I mean, looking at Bond's house in Jamaica, it looks absolutely lush. I mean, what do you think of the shots?
No, I think the cinematography is really good. yeah, and seeing the shots of Bond's house and stuff like that. No, I mean, and as you were saying about the film, like about Rami Malek's character Safin. I mean, it was interesting to see Blofeld in that trailer as well. Christoph Waltz's Blofeld. I mean, it's interesting because I mean, his looks a little bit different from that Inspector. Like, I mean, he was blinded in one eye. Here, his eye's completely missing, and his scar sort of healed. And I kind of preferred his look in Spectre. Like, I kind of wish they just kept that. The blind eye with the scar, like because I mean that's sort of the look of Blofeld, and here, like, it's a bit of a shame that he's just kind of his eyes gone now and whatever. But
Yeah,
I mean, Christoph Waltz looks good in it. I don't think he'll be in it a hell of a lot, but I mean, I think Bond will probably just use him, for information and stuff like that.
yeah.
But
Also, sorry to interrupt you. Speaking of Blofeld, is Madeline like being like Blofeld's psychiatrist or something? Like she seems to be working for MI6 or kind of like tending to Blofeld when he's in prison, when he's in his cell, and obviously they come across each other in the corridor. He's like, and Bond says, "Oh, I'm not going to lose control," and he looks at her. They look at each other, and it's a bit awkward. Like, I wonder what's up with that, because obviously, Blofeld knows about her secret, so maybe she's tending to Blofeld to try and keep her silence, so to speak. So there's such a great mystery that looks like it's going to be unraveled. I mean, obviously with Spectre, we could kind of predict where the movie was going. Not that that was a bad thing, but the trailer gave us kind of the threads that we needed. Us two were very sort of certain about how we thought it was going to go, and we actually predicted quite a lot in Spectre. But I don't think it will be as easy to predict this one. I think it will surprise us. I think it really will. But also, it's great to see Felix. I'm glad that Jeffrey Wright's back, and also Lashana Lynch surprised me as well. Like, I know there's this whole controversy about female 007 and all the Bond going woke, but it's not that. It's honestly not that. They're just shaking things up a bit, and I think her character and Bond are going to have some interesting banter, some interesting moments. There's a moment in Jamaica where she threatens to shoot him in the knee, which is quite cool. I mean, what are your sort of first impressions on Lashana Lynch as Nomi?
I know, yeah. Talking about what you're saying about the wokeness, I know some people who saw the trailer. Like, I had a couple of friends who weren't that impressed by it. Like, someone thought, like, oh, it's gonna be woke crap with Lashana Lynch and stuff like that. But and my other friend was kind of worried about that as well. That Lashana Lynch's character might be bossing Bond about. I don't think that'll happen. I mean, if it does happen, it'll ruin the film. But it still looks like it's Bond's film. This is Daniel Craig's last film, and to me, she doesn't. It doesn't look woke in my opinion. I mean, she's a new 00, but I don't think she's like, oh man, you're all like. I mean, I don't think they'll go down.
Exactly. She's not walked up and saying, "Oh, look at you, Bond. You're so old, and you're a man. Get out of my way." It's nothing like that. I mean, if anything, they're working together.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if it is like that, it would just. I think the Bond producers are wise enough. The writers and the producers are wise enough to know. If you go down that route, then you're going down the wrong path. Because I mean, the film series is essentially, centered around Bond. Daniel Craig's character as Bond. So, if you go down this PC kind of narrative, like where she's like, "Oh, don't tell me what to do. You're a man. Get out of my way, oldie." It would just be cringeworthy to watch. Like
oh my god, yeah, exactly. I mean, although one thing we do know is obviously the women's roles are changing, so I think there's going to be less of Bond sleeping with the women. I think he's going to try to sleep with Lashana Lynch, but nothing will come of it. But I think she's going to be quite.
I heard he tries to charm her. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of the idea. I mean, Bond's supposed to be a sexist piece of shit. I mean, he's a killer. He's he's a bastard.
Yeah.
Basically, he's not supposed to be likable. So, I mean, I'm not sure about I think they have to. For me, anyway, I think they should just stick to the Bond formula. Like, I mean, I don't mind him marrying Madeline in this film, but I just hope with each Bond film, it isn't like he has a girlfriend for each film, or like he has a
Oh no,
girlfriend
no, of
for.
course not.
Like, yeah.
But I think we are to assume, judging by this trailer, that Bond and Madeline have kind of gone their separate ways after Italy, and he's kind of like, well, I guess he's either divorced her, or he's not talking to her. So I guess he's thinking, well, fuck it, I can just do what I want. So like, I mean, he tries to charm women anyway, just because he is a prick, and he uses his charms often to his own effect. But yeah, she ain't budging. So that'll be interesting to see the first woman who actually doesn't succumb to Bond's charm. I think it will be quite funny, actually.
I mean, one thing I am a little bit worried about was apparently they banned the word Bond girl on set. I don't get that, to be honest. Like, what's wrong with calling them Bond girls? I mean, sorry, but I'm not going down that PC route. They're still Bond girls to me. I don't know why they felt the need to ban the word Bond girl, but I don't think it'll go down the PC woke agenda. If it does, then
I mean,
say
at the end
goodbye
of
to
the
your
day,
fans.
yeah, exactly, yeah. At the end of the day, a name is a name. It doesn't mean anything, Whether you call them Bond women, Bond girls, Bond mosquitoes, it doesn't make any difference. They're still the same people. So, that's the way I see it. Also, speaking of another moment, I'm surprised they had this moment in the trailer where he goes up to the guy at the desk and he says name, and he says Bond, James Bond. Like, you think they would save the classic line for the film? They wouldn't put it in the trailer, but it was quite amusing, I suppose. I guess that's him being reinstated in his post as MI6.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, yeah, I'm surprised they didn't say that for the film. That's probably going to be the last time he says it in the series, which is kind of sad. I mean, it's kind of sad to think that this is his last Bond film, Craig's last Bond film. But yeah, I mean, one thing.
Well, actually, I would love Craig to say the line at the very end of the film, like he did in Casino Royale, just to bring it full circle. But that depends on the outcome of the movie, whether he actually dies or not. I'm assuming he won't die because it's called No Time to Die. Well, nothing's set in stone, is it? So, but yeah, we'll try not to dwell on that.
It could be something like it's called No Time to Die because he's in a rush to get away, and he's in a rush to stop the bad guys. So he isn't he feels like he's got no time to die, but he might die anyway. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully,
yeah, I'm sure there's a meaning to the title. I mean, everybody was confused why Bond 23 was Skyfall until they saw the movie, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's where he grew up." Oh, interesting. I mean, Spectre, that title speaks for itself anyway. Much like Casino Royale as well. But also another fun moment was seeing Bond and Moneypenny go into Q's flat. I think that's going to be quite a funny scene. And I have a feeling we might actually see Q's cats. Because that was a joke that was made in Spectre when Bond was threatening his cats, which I thought was quite funny. So it'd be nice to sort of continue on that. I mean, Ben Whishaw is just delightful in this film, and I think him and Craig have some of the funniest moments in these movies, which is why another reason why it'd be sad to see Daniel Craig leave. But I mean, I think he's chosen the right time to go, to be honest.
Yeah, I think 5 films is enough, and he's in his early 50s now. But no, it'd be funny if they did that recreation of that scene from Spectre where he's pointing the gun at the mice. Could you imagine if he was pointing it at the cat, like, "Who are you? Who you working for?" That'd be funny.
Oh yeah.
Know, but... yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of banter between them.
Yeah. No, I mean, one thing you did point out, I mean, it is kind of similar to Skyfall that you're pointing out, like, he's older and something about his knee, like one of his knees not working, and they're kind of retreading some of the stuff in Skyfall about age and stuff like that. I mean, hopefully that's done in a good way, because I mean, I don't want this film to feel like it's sort of retreading Skyfall, all the things in Skyfall, like Bond getting old and stuff like that. I mean, I don't mind it since it's his last film, but hopefully it doesn't stick too close to Skyfall. Well, I mean, Skyfall was a
No, I
great
mean,
Bond.
I don't think it
Yeah.
will. I mean, well, that being said, we are going to Scotland for this film, so there is every chance. I mean, I would assume that we are going to potentially see the ruins of Skyfall, or you know, it will all take Bond back to his past, which is at Skyfall. So maybe it looks like in the forest there's going to be some big action sequence with some helicopters and a car. So, or one of the cars. So I reckon the film will tie into Skyfall definitely, but. I mean, in terms of like rehashing it, I mean, yeah, maybe the age thing is possible, but hopefully they do it in a tasteful way. I think, to be honest, like I mean, he's only going to go and retire in Jamaica because of Madeline. I mean, he would have settled down with her had things worked out, but yeah, I mean, and he's only brought back because of Felix. Like last time, he chose to come back on his own accord, so. I guess there are some minor differences, but I mean there are definitely hints of Skyfall, but not too much. But I do love the fact that Blofeld's back, and interesting that they've given him like this kind of prison cell, like this very like this cage, like he's just sitting in this cage.
Yeah.
Whereas Silver had like a massive, almost like a plastic prison, like you see in like one of the characters in X-Men, Magneto, who controls metal.
Yeah.
They put him in a plastic prison. So that I'm surprised that they didn't give Blofeld a cell like that. But still, regardless of that, it's nice to see him in there. And I think you're right. His role will probably be very limited, but the fact that he's in it is great. And yeah, I wonder if we'll find out more about him in the film.
Theodore commented. He said, finally got that damn trailer. What do you think the end of the world plot will be?" Well,
Well, I mean, that really depends on Safin, the villain. I think, well, first of all, to answer your question, Theo, I think the lair looks fantastic. It's very big, and you know what it reminds me of? It's a mixture of Doctor. I mean, I hate to say this, but it's a mixture of Doctor No's lair and Stromberg's lair. It feels like it has the scale of Stromberg's lair, but it has like the architecture of Doctor No's lair, and also the table, the long table, reminds me of Stromberg. I mean, I don't know if you got that vibe, but that's kind of what I got from it.
No, I kind of got that. I also, it reminded me of that lair from Moonraker. You know the scene where he's lured into the pyramid, like the waterfall, and you have Drax's lair there. Kind of reminded me of that a bit as well. Yeah, it looked a lot like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's weird. Yeah, there was that moment where like the large room with all the scientists in water in the red suits. I mean that. I mean, I do wonder what the hell Safin's plan is, to be honest. Yeah,
Could it be Quantum Palace? Take the water.
Oh god, yeah, change that water. But yeah, and in terms of Safin himself, I think Rami Malek is great. I absolutely love the voice. That sort of I don't know what kind. He's putting on some kind of accent. I don't know if it's like a Russian accent or something. James Bond, License to Kill, like something like that. Anyway, he talks about him like he's like, oh, you have a life of violence, and I could almost picture you in a mirror or something like that. So I guess I'm assuming that there's going to be a couple of parallels between them. So I mean, I think it could be likely that he's linked to Bond's past, maybe, or maybe obviously maybe he's manipulated Madeline or using Madeline. I mean, well, clearly judging by this trailer, but I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he is. But I like his costume
Also,
as well.
What's interesting about him as well is that he seems to be like physically kind of scarred.
Yeah, and I noticed that as well when he's wearing the mask and he's dressed in the white coat. Like when he's on the ice, you can see that that's him because of the deformity in his face. So something's happened to him, and I wonder what that is. I guess we'll find out very soon. But
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Also, who's that person under the ice? Like, I wonder. I wonder if that's Bond.
yeah. Hopefully they don't go down the Skyfall sort of bit like at the end where Bond's under the ice. Could be someone else, but yeah. No, I mean I actually quite like Safin's look, the sort of mask thing, because I mean he kind of reminds me a little bit of Phantom of the Opera with like the
The
deformed face
Phantom
and
of the Opera is here.
yeah. Um, no, but I mean, talking about some of the other stuff in the trailer, like yeah, I mean, what did you think of the action? Like that action scene at the start, that looked pretty good. Like, what did
Oh,
you
I
think some
can't.
of the action?
You know, I think the opening sequence is going to try and defy all openings. I mean, it looks like just like a classic Bond opening with the stunt at the end when Craig dives off of the bridge. I reckon he's going to dive right into the title sequence. I think the title sequence will come on when he dives. I mean, it looks very impressive.
Imagine it was still called Come and Dive. All that makes sense.
Oh God, yeah, terrible title. I want you to come and dive, Mr. Bond. God, that'd be weird.
Theodore said the person under the ice is Madeline's daughter, or it's Madeline as a child. Well, I don't know who it is. I couldn't really see properly.
Yeah,
who
it's quite hard to make out. Actually, I guess it makes sense that it is. Well, I guess we'll just call her the girl, because that's all we know. I guess it is probably the girl who they're chasing, but it could potentially be Madeline or Madeline's daughter. But I mean, who knows? I can't tell who it is at the moment, but
yeah.
I think that's going to be an enjoyable sequence. But
yeah,
I mean, this trailer gave us a lot. And in terms of also the other action scenes, Ana de Armas as Paloma. So there's this moment where Bond is in a crowd and like there's the spotlight on him. I wonder what that's all about. I guess she's probably a villainess, potentially like working with Safin and Blofeld. But I mean, Ana de Armas.
Yeah, because in the poster she's got like a couple of guns. You know, she could be like it could be like either a bad guy, like a villainess, or she could be like CIA or something like that, maybe helping Bond on the film. I don't know, but
yeah.
Well,
I don't think she will be CIA because we have Felix in the movie, but yeah. I don't know. I mean, who knows? I guess it's all very mysterious at the moment. I also like the moments where we see Bond and Madeline was, I guess, canoodling, like enjoying married life or just like enjoying life in Italy. Perhaps they've already been married, like they've been married for maybe a couple of years or so. Maybe we don't see the wedding. Maybe we just see them like a few years after Spectre, sort of settling down, and then something happens. I reckon that might be what happens. I don't know if we'll see the wedding like we did in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I mean, I guess we'll find out from Carrie Fukunaga.
Yeah. I also like the reference at the end of the trailer to the gun barrel where Bond shoots. Was it through the sewer or something like that? It was a nice reference to the gun barrel.
That definitely was. I mean, the gun barrel itself, I'm sure there'll be a proper sort of classic Bond gun barrel as well. But yeah, I mean, there's that shot with the scientists is very peculiar. I'm still wondering what that's all about. There's a rumor, obviously, that the plot will be based on genetics. So, I mean, and there's a line that Bond says to Safin. He says, you know, history isn't kind to men who play God. So clearly, Safin is trying to do something like rewrite evolution or rewrite genetics, or basically controls genetics or something, or genetically engineer people or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That when he said that line, history doesn't take kindly to people who play God. I mean, it could be that he's rewriting his own DNA because he's deformed and maybe he wants to fix his face or whatever, and then maybe he decides that he needs to rewrite human DNA or something, and like wants to change humanity. Like, I mean, that would be an interesting idea for a Bond film. I mean, the whole plot really is about this missing scientist and the sort of DNA stuff going on there. And I think I think it'll handle it a lot better than the DNA plot in Die Another Day. I mean, that
God,
was
yeah,
just bollocks. But yeah,
yeah, that was.
um,
And I mean,
yeah.
this whole thing with Madeline, maybe she has the key to what Safin needs, and I mean, maybe he needs her DNA or something, or something. Who knows what's going on with Madeline? But I think there's definitely a grand plan here. I think that Safin is definitely someone who, well, according to this trailer anyway, from what I can gauge, he's someone who wants to kind of, like he says, play God and like control evolution and like rewrite history by genetically modifying people or genetically engineering people. I mean, he's obviously recruited loads of scientists to do his dirty work.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, also the action does look bloody awesome. I mean, and it looks like we're going to go to quite a few different locations as well. One shot that I really like is the shot of what I assume will be Safin behind a glass door. I think that looks really creepy.
Yeah, I was thinking, do you think that might be on a train or something? Like, there could be an action scene in the train again. I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, if it is Madeline as a child in that scene, then clearly she's referring to the part when she talked about Inspector, where she said, "Oh, there was a man that came to my house and tried to kill me." So maybe she's talking about Safin. So that maybe that's him going into the house. I mean, again, there's so much mystery surrounding this trailer. I just love it. It's just incredible. I mean, and the shots of
Yeah,
Norway.
Yeah, that was great as well. And what I like about this is, you said earlier, like, it's harder to guess what's going on in the trailer for this Inspector, because I mean, we kind of sussed out a lot of the things in Spectre, which I was kind of happy with, but at the same time, it's nice that there's a lot more mystery going on in this trailer, like because we don't really, because I mean, this is sort of a fresh storyline, it's continuing on stuff from the previous films, but we don't know who this character Safin is. We don't know all this other stuff that's sort of going on in the films, like Lashana Lynch's character. I mean, speaking of Lashana Lynch's character, I mean, at the start of the film, we see that she's like the new 007, I think. She's, Craig's obviously in retirement. Do you think, like, I mean, hopefully, I mean, there's some rumors that they might go down that route, but I mean, I'm hoping that once Bond comes out of retirement, he sort of stays out of retirement, because I wouldn't really like that where Bond retired and she became the new 00. I think you should just assign her to 006 or something like that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think my personal preference for the end of the film would be to have Bond definitely continue to be. I mean, obviously because he gets reinstated, or maybe that is the end. Maybe that shot of him going up to the guy at the desk, maybe that is at the end when he says name, Bond, James Bond. I mean, that could be near the end, but I mean, it's unlikely. But I would love him to be reinstated. But apparently there are 3 possible endings, so I don't know if Cary Fukunaga has decided what ending he wants to use. Maybe they're going to discuss it. I mean, they're editing the film at the moment, so I would imagine that it's being heavily talked about. Because if they kill off James Bond, I will never forgive them for it. Seriously, do not kill him off. I mean, you called the film No Time to Die, so I'm going to assume that you're not going to kill him, but who knows?
Yeah. And also, Bond's a survivor. I mean, I think that's one of the endings. I mean, that's an interesting thing about this. These film 3 alternative endings. One of the endings I think might be Bond dies and Lashana Lynch takes over. One of the endings I think could probably be that Bond survives and sort of continues on as 007. And then maybe one of the other endings is that he survives but he resigns and she steps up as the new 007. I mean, I just hope to God that the ending that they do choose, they better choose it wisely. And I don't think they should end it with Bond getting killed off. I mean, like, I mean, I understand why somebody floated around that idea, but that Bond, because Bond's never died in a film before, but I don't think it would work because I mean Bond's a survivor. It would just be a
Yeah,
cop out in my opinion, and it would be a cop out in my opinion if he got like shot in the back or something like that or stabbed. It would be kind of like, oh
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I
just
think to be honest,
yeah.
when they were because before the April reveal, well, which wasn't really a reveal, they were going to use the title of Reason to Die. So potentially they were thinking about killing him off back then, but perhaps that's what changed their mind at the last minute because they'd said before the live stream they dropped the title because they weren't convinced it was good enough, and maybe the real reason is that they were worried people were gonna turn away from the series if Bond died, and I think that was going through their minds when writing the script. So I'm confident they won't kill him off, but again, you never know until you see it. So it's just a concern, like, ooh. But no, the ending I would like, what I would assume is what happens is potentially there's obviously a big reveal with Madeline and the truth comes out, but I think Madeline will cop it at the end of the film. I mean, she's clearly not going to die in the beginning now, which is actually good. Thank God that they've not killed her off at the start because it looks well. She might not have a lot to do, but she might be in the beginning of the film, and then she'll reappear in that scene with Blofeld, which I think will be interesting. But I think maybe she's going to end up ticking it off, like she's going to kick the bucket, kind of like Vesper, except I don't think I don't know like if Madeline will die sacrificially or whether she'll get killed. Maybe Safin kills her or something. I mean, who knows? But I am actually predicting that Madeline is going to die at the end of the film, and then Bond
Yeah.
will go back to MI6 and continue the life he used to do. I mean, or who knows? He might stay in retirement. You never know. You never know. I mean,
My
I think
only problem with killing off Madeline is I just to me it just seems a bit derivative of Casino Royale and On Her Majesty's Secret Service because like at the end of On Her Majesty's Secret Service he's married and then Tracy's gone and then here it would be kind of like the same thing. Bond's wife gets killed. It's like I just hope they don't go down like for the next Bond film like a revenge plot thing. Like I mean I just I don't think
well,
they
we know
should
that's
kill
not going
her
to
off.
happen. The great leaving. So,
Yeah, I
but
know,
no,
but I
I
mean they could do that if they wanted to, like just continue it on with a new actor, like the old films, and just say like, oh, Bonds wants to get revenge on Blofeld or sorry, Rami Malek's character Safin. I mean, personally, I don't think they will kill her off. I don't think they should kill her off, to be honest. I mean, if they're gonna do that, you know, they better do it in a good way. That's all I'll say because Bond, he's not really the sort of kind of guy, you're not really. He's not the guy you go up to and shoot his wife and expect to get away with it. Whoever
yeah,
does it is gonna pay. They're gonna pay for
exactly.
fucking with him.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess potentially the end of the film we'll see them go their separate ways. I mean, we don't really know. I mean, well, there's 3 different endings, so one of them is bound to make the cut. So we'll see what happens. But I like the mystery surrounding Madeline. The fact that they're actually going to explore her character more is great. Because some people thought she was underwritten Inspector. I mean, I liked her Inspector, but I think I like her even more in this film. I already am intrigued by this mystery. I'm still thinking about sort of what it could be. There are so many possibilities, and interesting how much they really revealed. To be fair, but needless to say, I am really excited about this film. This trailer has completely sold me. It's actually quite long for a teaser trailer. It's like a proper 2.5-minute trailer.
I don't think it is a teaser. I don't think it is because every time I've like looked it up on YouTube, it just says official trailer. So I don't think it is a teaser. I think it is an official trailer. They were probably just like, you know what, the Bond fans they've been waiting for for a long time. So I think this is an official trailer. I think what they'll do is like
Yeah.
what they'll do with Spectre, like they'll have 2 or 3 official trailers. So I think this is an official trailer. To me, there's
Yeah.
too much in it for it to be a teaser trailer, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Spectre had a teaser trailer. I guess because of all the problems with the production problems and whatnot, they excuse me, they delayed the trailer. They said apparently they had a trailer ready in August, but then I guess they thought, well, we might as well do them a full trailer in December.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably get one more trailer, hopefully in like March. In March time, that would be good. Because that would be nice. I'm sure there'll be a lot more promotional material coming our way. I mean, we will find out a lot more details in the new year. Like, I think we'll find out who's doing this song as well, which would be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this.
Kalo, Octawussy, she ain't a well.
Yes. I mean, in terms of like classic Bond and modern Bond, I don't really know where this one could fall into. I'm sure it's going to definitely have some tropes of a classic Bond movie. Like you'll have the humor, some of the kind of pastiche that Spectre had. Like Spectre was definitely a classic Bond movie with darker elements and a more modern sort of spin on things. I think No Time to Die's plot is derivative of a classic Bond film. It's more complex. It's more a mission. There's an intriguing mystery that's been building up, and it's obviously it's part 5 of a sort of saga. Really, it's the Daniel Craig era. So and it's a conclusion. So in that regard, so there's continuity. But yeah, I think it will have flavors of the classic era, but it will essentially be a more modern film. I think it will be, and the thing is, because it doesn't look too dark, it looks like it will be serious, but like the moments with Safin will be quite dark, but not. It's not going to be humorless, which is what I like especially the moments with Q and stuff. So I like the fact that they've got it right. They've got this balance of light and dark, and it looks like it's going to be great. I mean, Spectre had a similar sort of balance for me, so I hope No Time to Die follows in that same fashion. But yeah, I mean, this will definitely be a bigger film. I mean, what can you sort of gauge like tonally from this trailer?
Well, I think it's definitely going to be a much darker Bond film because of the whole betrayal thing. I hope it doesn't go too dark. It still has its moments of humor, like Spectre and Skyfall, like sort of going down that route. I mean, I think it'll be a great Bond film. I mean, it has to be a great Bond film. It's Daniel Craig's last one, so if you fuck this up, there's no going back. So,
You made us wait 5 years.
yeah, 5 years exactly. And I mean, I'm glad now though we have an actual trailer to talk about, a full official trailer, not just like here you go. Here's like 15 seconds or 30 seconds. This is an official trailer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, we've been waiting for ages, basically. I mean, you and me have been starving to have some info on Bond 25. I mean, for so long we didn't even have a fucking title. We didn't even have a title for the film.
Yeah. I mean, this trailer for me, totally makes up for all of the crappiness that was that Jamaica reveal, which was not a reveal. The long wait on Spectre before Craig even confirmed he was back. Just all the setbacks, the delays, the Daniel Craig's injury, the explosions, and just all of the problems that were brewing behind the scenes, like the script issues. Danny Boyle quit the project, but I really think it looks like they really have thought about this. They've really spent a long time trying to get it right. I mean that's what it looks like. Judging from this trailer, spent a long time trying to get this right because it is the last one from Craig, and he's highly regarded as Bond. And And also, Cary Fukunaga is, no pressure. I mean, he's come into this franchise taking on probably one of the biggest movies in this franchise. I mean, No Time to Die is officially the most expensive Bond movie. So
Really?
yeah, no pressure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
How much is the budget?
yeah. Well, it must be millions. I mean, I don't know the exact figure, but it must be millions. Like Skyfall obviously had a budget and then made all its money back and more because it was so
Yeah.
successful. So I'm sure
I
No
think
Time to Die
Spectre
will.
was the most expensive before this, so it looks like this is going to be another budget of several hundred million, which is insane if you think about it. But it is
Yeah,
Bond.
especially for a
You
Bond
want,
film as well.
yeah. But it's Bond, so you kind of want all that money sort of spent on it. You don't want it looking cheap. But
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I think this, I think this trailer has paid off because there has been. This is probably one of the Bond films with one of the worst productions. Like, this film went through production hell, like you were saying. It was originally supposed to come out
Yeah,
late 2019, and then it was delayed till Valentine's Day, and it was delayed again. And there were the script rewrites, and Danny Boyle quit, and this sort of had everything going against it. And judging from the trailer, I know it's still just a trailer, and trailers, you never predict if a movie's going to be good or bad from just a trailer. But judging from the trailer, it looks like it's going to be a very good Bond film. Looks like it's going to pay off. And
they throw everything in the kitchen sink in some. There's a lot of people in the film, and there's a huge story to tie up as well. Felix as well. Seeing Jeffrey Wright after 12 years? We've not seen him in 12 years. By the time this film comes out, because Quantum of Solace was 2008, so I'm quite surprised they never used him again since. But I'm glad he's back for Craig's last one because it makes sense to do that.
it kind of wraps up his storyline as well.
Yeah, but I wonder how much Felix is going to be in. It doesn't look like he's not in much of the trailer, so wonder how long he will be in the film for.
Yeah, hopefully he's in it longer than he was in Quantum, because he was hardly in that.
Yeah, it seemed pointless for him even to be in Quantum of Solace. They introduced him in Casino Royale, so I would have liked Felix to in Quantum of Solace to go to the hotel with Bond rather than just tell him about it. Like, he could have gone to the hotel with Bond and Camille and played a part in the action at least, but oh well. Yeah. And then he wasn't in Skyfall or Spectre, despite the fact that they mentioned him in Spectre. But still, at least he's in this one. Yeah, at least he's in Craig's last one. And I like the fact that you're the only one I trust to do this, which is nice. So I think hopefully we'll see more of their friendship because we've not really had a chance to see that grow in the Craig era because Jeffrey Wright's hardly been in the movies. So. Yeah, for me, David Hedison will still be the best Felix, but Jeffrey Wright is a pretty close second.
Yeah, I agree. No, Theodore was saying the budget's 250 million, and he says also, do we think Safin's part of Spectre also is a Doctor No theory dead now? I still think he could be Doctor No. Personally, I think he's probably, I'd say Safin is probably part of Spectre, but I don't think he's Doctor No. I hope he's not anyway. Blofeld, it's fine for you to bring Blofeld back because he was a recurring villain in
and he's the head of Spectre.
Yeah, and he's a recurring villain in the Bond series. I think, when you start making, like, if you made Safin Doctor No, it's like, what next? You're going to bring back Goldfinger, you're going to bring back Kananga, you're going to bring back Maxor, and, it's like, you're going to bring back Scaramanga. It's like, where does it stop? And plus, all those acters did gave iconic performances anyway.
Well, most of them. We're not going to mention Toby Stevens.
Well, yeah, but but let's be honest. Who cares about Gustav Gray if no one's going to bring them back? Yeah, yeah, but Gert Frobe as Goldfinger. It's like he gave a great performance. So it's like you can't. I just, for me, I just don't think you should go down that path. Just Blofeld's fine, but when you start bringing back Doctor No and the others, it's just like one next Rosa Klebb. We don't need that really. Just come up with new original villains. Like Silva and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
it's much more interesting as well. Um,
Yeah,
it's yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah, Blofeld is the only villain to me that should recur. People have always talked about bringing Jaws back and characters like that, but it's not necessary. I mean, you can never make it as iconic. Um,
yeah,
I agree with you about Safin as well. I think he is part of Spectre. I think it was almost certain that he's part of Spectre, but I'd be surprised if he isn't. And I don't think he's Doctor No. I don't want him to be Doctor No, but
yeah,
if he, well, still, I'm sure he'll still be very good in the role. But I think it would be great to see him do some. I think he's his own character because of what they're showing us is clearly he's got some kind of facial deformity. He wears a white
yeah,
mask and he goes around killing people. So Doctor No didn't really do that in
yeah.
his
And
film.
I mean, I really don't. I mean, to me, I think it's pretty much confirmed he's not Doctor No now because Doctor No had, his main feature was that his hands, he didn't really have proper hands. They were like metallic hands. That was sort of his feature of his villain. It wasn't like a facial deformity or a mask. So, yeah, I don't think it is Doctor No because if it was Doctor No, he would have like metallic hands. Um, that's what I
Yeah,
think
I mean,
anyway.
and the shot we see of him in the trailer, it doesn't really, it doesn't really show his hands.
Yeah, no, and I think there is one scene where he's talking to Craig where you could see his hands and they're not like metallic. He's got
No,
ordinary hands. They're ordinary hands, so yeah.
I mean he's dressed in black, so presumably he's gonna. I mean presumably he's a very dark character.
Yeah,
His face just looks a bit, well, slightly scarred and deformed. So clearly something's happened to him. I mean, not that he's actually Blofeld, of course, because Blofeld has his own scar and injury, but he's going to have some kind of trait that makes him distinctive. But I just think the
yeah,
performance is great. I've just got full confidence in Rami Malek. But I mean,
yeah. I
what
mean,
do you think
I
of
can
his?
see. Sorry, go ahead.
I know. Sorry to interrupt you. I was just going to say, what do you think of his voice?
Oh, yeah, in the trailer. Yeah, I think it's very threatening. I think it's very good. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, no, I think his voice is very threatening in the role, and I think he'll be really good. Also, Theodore asks, would love to
About
know what you
Spectre.
both like. Yeah, about Spectre. I personally think it's flat. Act one is good. I always find myself defending even that, but every time I talk to fall asleep during it. Oh right, everyone I talk to fall asleep during it. Yeah. Well, it's my favorite Bond film. So, I mean, what I liked about it was that it brought back Spectre, it brought back Blofeld. It had a lot of subtle references to the previous 23 films, and it was just a great film overall. I thought Craig was good. I thought Waltz was good as the villain. Had good action. I like Madeline. I, I mean, it was just everything I wanted really for a Bond film. Bringing back Spectre. But yeah, I mean, what about you, Ollie?
I mean, I kind of agree. Although I do prefer a few other Bond movies, but Spectre
Yeah,
is definitely a great one for me. I rank it quite highly. I mean, I'm sorry that not everybody likes it. I understand why people don't like the Foster brother storyline. I didn't mind it personally. I thought it was okay.
yeah,
I just found Spectre really enjoyable. I mean, the action was great. The story was intriguing. It was a mixture of classic Bond and modern Bond, and I thought Craig was great in it. But I think No Time to Die is going to raise the bar, though. I think it will. I
yeah,
mean, I did like Madeline in Spectre. I really did, and I think Spectre was actually way better than Quantum of Solace. I mean, I don't mind Quantum of Solace, but I think my opinion of it has sort of gone down a little bit. Like I still enjoy it. Like there are moments that are good, but for me, Quantum of Solace is quite troubled, and it's definitely the weakest Daniel Craig film for me. But you know,
I mean, personally, I think all the
it's not as
I
terrible as
think all
people
the
say it.
yeah, personally, I think all the Craig films are good. I know some people are like think the Craig era is like 50-50. Like people love Casino and Skyfall, but they're not too keen on Spectre or Quantum. I love all of them. I mean, Quantum was the first one I saw in the cinema, so I've sort of a soft spot for that. But I think all of them so far has been good. And Theodore said earlier about Quantum and Spectre not having the emotional stakes. Well, I mean, I think they did. I mean, Quantum was very emotional. Craig's Bond sort of having to deal with the fact Vesper was gone, and he sort of went on a revenge quest. And Spectre was quite emotional too, with the death of Mr. White and Madeline sort of dealing with that, and the stuff with her and Bond. I thought was really good, but yeah, I mean, I personally thought Spectre was great. But anyway, going back to the trailer, I mean, it's good that Felix is back. Jeffrey Wright is Felix, like you were saying. I forgot to mention that. Um, this is probably going to be his last appearance as Felix, and like you said, he's not in the trailer much, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to be in the film much. I mean, I hope he is in the film quite a bit. I mean, like you said, he was kind of pointless having him in Quantum, but it would be nice if he gets more to do in this film since we haven't seen him since Quantum, which, like you said, was bloody hell 12 years ago. Well, next year it'll be 12 years, so I mean, yeah. So it's been a long time since we've seen him. I mean, do you think he might be in the field of Bond, or like?
Well, I would hope so. I mean, definitely for the Jamaica scenes. I think there are some. I think there's going to be a Land Rover chase in Jamaica. So I think Felix will definitely be involved in that. But in terms of the rest of the movie, I'm not sure. I would like him to be, but again, we don't see a lot of him in the trailer. So I'm hoping that they don't kill him off. Like that would be a bit of a shame.
Yeah, I don't think they'll kill him off. No. But I mean, talking about the locations, I mean, where are they going to in this film? The location.
Well, let's see. The first one is Italy, of course. When Bond and Madeline are married, of course, London, which is in most Bond movies. Norway is another one. And then there's Scotland as well, which obviously will link back to Skyfall. And Jamaica, of course. And I don't know of any others. I think that's kind of it, really. Unless I'm missing anything.
No, I mean, those are good locations. But and I think it'll be good. But one thing I find interesting is what about the Bond, regulars, the MI6 regulars, because Inspector got quite a bit to do, made all that stuff with C and surveillance. I'm wondering how they're going to sort of follow that up in Inspector, what the MI6 regulars get to do, like Naomi Harris and Ben Whishaw and Ray Fiennes as because I mean, I hope this isn't their last Bond film. I mean, I have a feeling it could be their last, because what they might do is they might just reboot the Bond series again with the next actor. I mean, I hope they just go down the route of. I just hope they go down the route of keeping the MI6 regulars and just, having a new actor in the role like they did with the old series. But yeah, I mean, what do you think they'll?
Well, I agree. I mean, obviously, after Die Another Day, Judi Dench stayed in the series when Craig came in. So, I mean, they will have to reboot the films in terms of a story. In terms of a timeline, they can start again with a new actor. But I think they can keep the MI6 regulars because, well, why change them? There's no need to change them. The fact there's another timeline doesn't matter. I mean, we saw the same MI6 regulars for a long time until Timothy Dalton came along, and then yeah, all of Brosnan. I mean, they changed all of Brosnan's ones purely because Casino Royale was they were trying to start a clean slate, but they had to have Judi Dench as M because, well, it's Judi Dench, and M is kind of too important to cut out, really. So, and they did the right thing by bringing back Q, M, and Moneypenny. Sorry, not Q, M, and Moneypenny, but Q and Moneypenny in Skyfall. So, I mean, Sam Mendes initiated something quite good there. And then Inspector, they got more to do. So I think there's always room to give them more to do. I mean, even if they don't do a huge amount in this film, at least it would be nice to see them. So my vote is, yeah, I would love them to stay, even when the new guy takes over from Craig, which I think they should do. There's no need for them to change. So hopefully they shall remain. I mean, especially Ben Whishaw. I mean, he's young; he can go on for many years. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, and like you said, with like Brosnan, even when they rebooted the era of Craig, they kept Judi Dench as M. So yeah, I mean, I think they could do the same because I mean, I think Ray Fiennes as M he's fantastic. I mean, he's one of my favorite portrayals. I think Bernard Lee's my favorite, probably followed by Judi Dench, and then Ray Fiennes. I mean, he's a great modern day version of M, and he sort of harkens back a bit to Bernard Lee's portrayal, but being his own portrayal as well, which is really good. And Ben Whishaw, like you said, I mean, he's really young, so he could do this for decades. I mean, he could potentially do this until he's an old man like Desmond Llewellyn, which would be quite funny. I mean, I don't think he would ever get to that point, but it would be funny to see an old man.
Well, he might, but it's unlikely.
It's unlikely, but it'd be funny if he was still in the role years from now as an old man. But
yeah. Well, I don't have a lot else to say about the trailer. I'm very impressed with it. It totally took me by surprise, and it won me over. They've given us an intriguing premise, an intriguing mystery surrounding Madeline. So I am going to be thinking about that for quite a while, for the next few months. So, I mean, and when this film comes out on like Blu-ray and DVD, this will now be 5 films. Well, obviously 25 films if you want to include the whole series, but the Craig era of 5 movies that will sit next to each other and will hopefully can be watched as sort of one sort of grand timeline, one set of stories that can be seen from beginning to end. And obviously, Spectre made the point of connecting the movies, so No Time to Die will have to make the point of concluding the movies. So I look forward to that. And also look forward to finding out who does the title song. That'll be exciting. So yeah, that's my verdict on the trailer. What do you think, Jack, overall?
No, yeah, I agree. I think the trailer is really exciting. Finally, we've got a trailer after so long. No, I mean, I think it's a brilliant trailer from what we've seen so far. Great to see the DB5 back. It's interesting to see that Bond might be portrayed in this film. I think Rami Malek as Safin will be really good. I mean, I haven't really seen him in anything. I haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody, but I heard he was very good. I mean, he won an Oscar for that. So you've got an Oscar-winning actor as the villain once again, and I think it'll be a great film. I mean, the action looks great. Like from what I've seen in the trailer, I just hope it's a good Bond film, and I hope it's a good send-off for Daniel Craig because he's been in the role now for 13 years. I mean, he's the longest-serving Bond in terms of years. So it'll be sad when he finally has to hang up, the tuxedo. But yeah,
Yeah.
From the trailer, it looks great, and I'm looking forward to other trailers coming out in the future as well because there's bound to be other trailers like they did with Spectre. I think they'll probably release 2 or 3 official trailers. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to future trailers as well.
Yeah.
and
All the
I'm looking
future
forward to the
marketing.
film. Yeah.
Yeah, the film mainly. Also, I think it's worth mentioning as I mean, the day before this trailer dropped, there was some character posters that came to light. which are very interesting. Like the background of them was all sort of had like it was like a gold sandy color, and then the 007 logo was like blue, which was kind of surprising. Like I didn't expect that, but there was some posters of Bond, Nomi, Paloma, Safin, and Madeline, I think, and Q as well. Interesting posters, very different to the previous films. What did you make of the posters?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention those. I thought the posters were really good. I like Craig's outfit in the poster; looked quite cool. Anna de Armas, oh god, she looks definitely very pleasurable to mine eye in that poster.
Yeah, she's just she's amazing.
Yeah, yes, she's probably going to be the best visuals of the movie. But yeah,
Yeah, didn't need much cinematography for that one.
yeah, don't need much airbrushing or editing there. But yeah,
Yeah, you could sell her as boner medicine.
Sorry.
She could be the cure for boner medicine.
Lol. Yeah. No, but yeah, I think the character posters are very good. Like I like the Rami Malek one as well, the Safin one. So yeah, I mean the posters got me hyped too. It'll be cool once we get like a full, official poster soon. That'll be cool. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. I'd like to see a poster of Craig in the tux. I mean, not the blue one that we got earlier, but like another one that would be nice.
Yeah, because that first poster we got wasn't great, to be honest. But yeah,
No.
Yeah. But yeah,
So,
I mean, that's it really. That's all I have to say. It was fun doing this stream as well.
yeah, no, it was fun. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you to all our commenters. And yes, that gun barrel shot at the end, we forgot to talk about that. The moment where Craig turns around and does a sort of a gun barrel pose was interesting. I'm sure that isn't the official gun barrel. There will be an official one for the movie at the very start, and that's been confirmed by Carrie Fukunaga. But I like the fact that the trailer ended like that. That was a nice surprise. But yes, that pretty much concludes this live stream. Thank you very much to Jack for joining me, and thank you to our commenters, Theo and Nick. Thank you very much for watching and listening. And what did you all think of the trailer? Please comment and let us know. And stay tuned for more updates on No Time to Die. So until next time, folks, I'm Mr. Thomas 11. This is Jack. See you soon.